Good evening. The Prime Minister has told BBC Look North that he will not back down on his decision to spend more money on overseas aid whilst making cuts at home. David Cameron has spent much of the day in Lincolnshire. A question and answer session that was held at lunchtime with voters in the city. Mr Cameron was asked why the government is slashing the armed forces budget at the same time as it's increasing the amount spent on foreign aid. Here's our political editor, Tim Iredale.
The Red Arrows welcomed the Prime Minister to Lincolnshire. David Cameron was given the honour of inspecting graduating cadets at RAF College, Cranwell.
The Prime Minister praised the efforts of the RAF in conflicts through the ages, but despite recent defence cuts, he said he wouldn't compromise when it came to the nation's security.
Yet 1 in 10 of these trainee officers will not become pilots and face redundancy due to the recent review of the defence budget. The way our money is spent by government came under scrutiny at Mr Cameron's next stop. Co-op workers in Lincoln took part in a PM Direct question and answer session. Warehouse assistant Leanne asked why spending on overseas aid had gone up while spending on the armed forces had gone down.
We made a promise as a country, along with lots of other countries, to some of the poorest people in some of the poorest countries of the world. And I think if you make a promise like that, to let down the poorest people in the world, I think would be wrong.
I don't think he answered my question. He was giving me information about defence budgets and aid budgets, but he never answered the question why we're sending taxpayers' money abroad, but not using it to help our heroes that our government have sent abroad.
So I tried again.
Should charity begin at home?
Well, I think charity begins in the home. It's in the home that we learn that we have responsibilities to others. Look, I think we made a promise to some of the poorest people in the poorest countries of the world. I think we should keep that promise, because by doing so we're saving lives, but also we're helping ourselves, because if we solve problems in other countries, that means less immigration, less terrorism, less problems, and actually a more prosperous world that we can all share in. So I think we're doing the right thing.
He knows many disagree with him, but the Prime Minister said he enjoyed taking part in a lively debate in Lincolnshire.
Well, Tim is back. He's in the studio with us now. Why is his policy on foreign aid so controversial at the moment?
Well, only this week, David Cameron committed to spending an extra £800 million on vaccines for children in the poorest countries of the world. Now, that equates to around 6 times the amount of budget cuts being made by Lincolnshire County Council over the next 4 years. And some, including many Tories, Peter, would say he's got his priorities wrong. But long before the last election, David Cameron promised to ring-fence only 2 areas. One was health, the other was international aid. So this is clearly something he feels very strongly about, even if others do not.
Tim, thank you very much indeed. Well,